things, and there's not enough time to do them all. Thank you for the suggestions. Okay. Let's see here. Here we go again. Cut your podcast to only 30 minutes. So the podcast will literally be what then? Just a news segment and that's it? Again, I keep telling you guys the point of the podcast is to get all of these topics out of the way so when we play the games, we can focus on them. Imagine if I go to boot up a game and literally the first 45 minutes is everyone bombarding me with questions. Are you going to do this? What do you think about this news story that just happened? What about this here? What's going on here? Then I can't play the game. The whole point of the podcast is to get that out of the way. Cutting the podcast down to 30 minutes makes no sense. All evidence leans towards the podcast is doing better than the gameplay. Why would I cut down the podcast? Stop suggesting the same thing over and over when it makes no logical sense. Then maybe I'll take your suggestions a little bit more seriously, right? Okay. Here's a great one. My genuine advice is to consider an exit strategy. Okay, here's my exit strategy, okay? I'm going to click on your name, and I'm going to hide this user from my channel. There's my exit strategy. I exited from having to read your stupid comments. Okay, let's continue. I exited very fast. I didn't waste any time on that one. Okay, let's continue. I just got to find where we were. See, now this one, I don't know if this is true or not. I would like your guys' opinion on this. You ready? Your capture card has audible white noise on constantly. When you mute your mic, but the capture card is active on a silent screen, like the slideshow without music playing, there's a lot of noise that is obvious when you wear headphones. You should be able to see this in OBS audio meter. All right, you ready? So what I'm seeing, because the white noise, by the way, is not coming from the microphone. I'm seeing that there is some kind of a noise coming out of the capture device. I'm going to be completely silent. I'm going to open the chat because I want to see what you guys have to say about this. All right. So I'm going to be completely silent right now. And I'm going to be silent for like 20 seconds. And I want you guys to tell me what you hear. Okay, ready? We're going to start in 3, 2, 1. Okay. Did you guys hear anything? Nada. I heard nothing. I don't hear anything. I hear nothing. There is a bit of white noise. A very slight white noise. Subtle, but it's there. Okay. So I guess my question would be, if there is a very small white noise, how can we stop it? I could put an audio filter on the capture device, just like I put audio filters on this microphone. But I'm not exactly sure that would, I don't know if it would fix it. I don't know how. Here's the problem. If I put audio filters on the game audio, there's potential that now some game audio will be dropped. And obviously that's the opposite of what we want. You don't want to have game audio dropped. Is there a solution around that little white noise? Dentronic says hardly noticeable, if at all. Some people just say they can't hear it at all. If it's audible, I don't hear it. I have Dolby Atmos headphones too, says Cheetah Man. You know, maybe it was the mic. Because remember, these are suggestions for like a month ago. Maybe it was the mic, and maybe now putting the filters on the mic has fixed the problem. So most people are saying, don't bother. I wouldn't worry about it. Okay, fair enough. Thank you. That was from a Jessica. Thank you for suggesting that. I mean, again, I don't know until we test stuff. And I don't know what else we could do to fix that. My issue with your podcast is recapping the previous day and talking about the schedule. Already explained till I was blue in the face why that's necessary. It's not changing. Okay. Let's see. Okay. I want to address the back and forth pull from viewers over whether you should do more gaming content versus more interactive non-gaming content. It seems there's no consensus can be reached. Everyone has their own preference. While it's true, most wanting more gameplay might outnumber those asking for other types of content, I would like to point out the value in catering to the dedicated group of fans that follow your more personalized and interactive content. It's my interpretation that due to your long 15-year legacy of mostly being a gamer, you have a larger contingent of people who want to see gaming. However, excuse me, due to the diverse amount of games out there, there isn't really one type of game that will satisfy all gamers across the board. When discussing non-gaming topics such as reactions, gaming news, Q&A, storytime narrative, etc., these may have less demand from your full-time audience, but typically the ones who show up tend to stay engaged and focused during those kinds of events. These interactions offer something unique which cannot be replicated through typical gaming videos. The reason why I think there is more demand for gaming content when you request feedback is because there are many voices that share a desire for more gaming, but they don't all participate equally when it comes to the gaming streams. This skews the data towards gaming demand. Due to the diverse amount of games out there and your audience's preference for various games, there is no one game that you can play that will unify all the more gaming crowd and bring them all in at once. Let's work with easy numbers and say you have 100 people. Say 60% of your audience wants more games. Of those 60 people that want the games, 30 of them actually want a fighting game. 20 of them want a shooter. 10 of them want an RPG. As you can see here, already there's division within the gaming side alone. On the flip side, let's look at non-gaming content where only 40 people wanted that non-gaming content. And of those 40 people that showed interest, almost all of them are willing to engage and interact with whatever you're producing. It's probably a very good point. In summary, while both sides have valid arguments, it's apparent that a unifying element exists among those who favor non-gaming content. By nurturing engagement in this area, you can potentially foster stronger connections with your community overall. My humble recommendation would be to continue what you've been working toward with the variety of content you currently provide, but perhaps leaning in the non-gaming area slightly more, ensuring consistency and quality, and building up your audience for non-gaming interactive content. This strategy allows room for growth of loyal followers that enjoy the interactive content that you want to eventually make more of anyway. Thus, it behooves you in the community that builds up your content towards what you want it to be, and not just what the current target loudest group happens to ask for. Thanks for taking the time to read this. All right. What do you guys think? I'm just curious. I'm going to click over to the chat. What do you guys think about that? You guys think that working towards and nurturing more non-gaming content makes sense? I think I understand the point. What there's in a nutshell. Yes, a lot of people want me to play games. The problem is there's never a consensus on what game. So when I play a game, I'm isolating the audience that didn't want that game. It's different if there's like, for example, if GTA 6 was coming out tomorrow, 98% of my audience would want me to play GTA 6, right? When the Elden Ring DLC comes out, a ridiculous amount of my audience is going to want to see me play the Elden Ring DLC. Those are the big ones we can all agree on. But when we're not actually focusing in on those big games, basically the attention is so pulled in different directions that I can't please everyone. Even though the majority of people say gaming, when I play a game, it doesn't satisfy the majority of people because everyone wants a different game. As opposed to when people say, you know, I'm not so much into the gaming anymore, but I like just hanging out with you. So no matter what kind of chill game content I make, whether it's podcasting, whether it's a chill night stream, whether it's us reacting to my old gameplay like Heavy Rain, those more personalized interactive streams are more appealing, and they appeal to a wider group of people because they're not, oh, I only want to see you interact with us in this one way. Most people are just happy to just interact, right? So I got you. I totally get what this person's saying. And like I said, I feel that the future is to diversify and split more down the middle. Like right now, I'm like 80% gaming, 20% other content. Because if you think about it, podcasting, the React Show, and the Throwback Channel are all different from just the pure gaming. But for the most part, right, at least almost 5 hours a day, I'm playing games. So it's probably an 80-20 split right now. I think the goal would eventually to be try to go 50-50. Still play a good amount of games, play the biggest high-profile games everyone really wants me to play, but then take my time and split it into other stuff. And it's going to mean playing way less games over time, but I think that's the way to go, honestly. You know, I'm being honest here. I don't think that me being a full-time gamer for the rest of my life is going to work. I'm about to be 42 years old. How many people want to see a 40, 50, 60-year-old fucking playing video games, right? I'm just saying. I mean, I think that's the case. But again, this is something to explore as we move down the line. I think what we're doing now is kind of working, you know? Okay. Instead of recapping the previous day on the podcast, do a recap segment on the podcast each week and recap things in detail there. That will never work because too much happens in a given week. Just think about this. In one given week, there could be new games. There could be continuing games. There could be things that have to change in the schedule because a game doesn't work, right? There could be things on the fly that happen that we have to adjust. By the way, by talking about this stuff every day, it gives me the feedback I need to figure out what to do in the future. So here's a perfect example. We just started discussion about my birthday marathon. Within a couple days of me bringing this up, all right, now we know, oh, let's do a tier maker. But what should the tier maker be? Well, maybe it'll be Mario. Maybe it'll be something else. We'll continue to talk about this daily, and within a week, we'll figure it out. If I literally waited until Sunday to bring it up, and I only bring these things up once a week, that's not enough time. You see? I understand if you get bored of something being mentioned every day. I get it. But at the same time, you have to understand that it serves a purpose, right? The thing is, people just want instant gratification and don't want to have any kind of reasoning or rationale as to why something shouldn't be changed. For example, people say that I approach the suggestion box as a debunked box. No, it's not. I've actually adopted a lot of things from the suggestion box so far as direct things in my content, putting filters on the mic, having the pause button be implemented in my content. Some of the ideas we've come up for events and things based off of the suggestion box, correct? The thing is, I can't implement all of it. So the moment that I say, oh, this doesn't work or whatever, oh, you see, Phil's debunking and he's just yelling it. No. Again, why is everything in life black and white, right? So you suggest completely get rid of the recaps, do them once a week. And I say, that ain't going to work. Only recapping once a week isn't enough because it doesn't give you enough of a perspective on things going on each day to get the feedback I need to make the correct decisions. Oh, you see, Phil debunked it. Well, no, I didn't debunk it. I just said this is why I'm not going to do it. And I respectfully decline that suggestion. But you don't have to put drama into it because you act like a 5-year-old. Okay? All right, we'll do one more.